Okay, let's unpack this. You're here for the deep dive. We grab your sources, dig in, and pull out those essential nuggets of knowledge, basically helping you get informed without feeling completely overwhelmed. And today we're plunging into something that, well, it touches everyone, but we maybe don't think about it enough. Hobbies and free time. Yeah, we're diving into that simple but actually pretty profound world of what we do when we're not doing the required stuff like work or studying. You know, those things we choose, the personal pursuits that often say a lot about us, bring joy, maybe sometimes a bit of a challenge too. So our mission today, extract the core ideas from your sources. Really try to understand the why and how behind our leisure time. And who knows, maybe you'll even get inspired for your next pastime.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is just how universal this is. This search for things that bring us joy, relaxation. It's really not just about killing time, is it? It's about making our lives richer, often in ways we don't even immediately notice. We've been looking at this really engaging conversation from your sources. It shares personal stories, but also, importantly, gives us some great words, some vocabulary for talking about this stuff, which kind of raises a big question for you listening right now. How do you actually define a hobby? And maybe more importantly, what role does it really play in your life, like right now?
That's a brilliant question. Definitely something to keep in the back of your mind as we jump straight into what the sources shared. What grabbed me right away was the simple definition they used for hobbies. Just the things we love to do in our free time, after work, after school, or at the weekends. Simple, but effective. And one of the clearest examples was someone talking about singing in a choir. This wasn't just a casual thing, you know, it sounded like a real commitment. They mentioned going weekly, every Monday evening.
Wow, okay, every week.
Yeah. And there's a specific goal, too. They're preparing for a Christmas concert.
Okay.
Apparently, they've already performed one concert, and another one's coming soon. So the big question is, what's the payoff? Why do it? And the feelings they described were really telling, I thought. Feeling relaxed and happy.
The positive emotions.
Exactly. And the ability to switch off my phone, which feels huge these days, to sing with my friends and just spend time with really nice people. It paints this picture of like genuinely disconnecting from the daily noise and connecting with others.
Right. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, it's not just social connection, like scrolling through a feed. It's that synchronicity, you know? Moving together, breathing together, creating something together with a shared purpose. Actually, neuroscience tells us this kind of shared rhythm can release oxytocin.
Oh, interesting. The bonding hormone.
Exactly. Which naturally lowers stress, boosts that feeling of well-being. So that mindful disconnection they mentioned.
Wow.
It's more than just putting the phone down. It's actively stepping away from the mental clutter, the to-do list, and just being in that moment in the music, almost like active meditation. And what's fascinating is how that structured sort of communal choir thing contrasts with another hobby, and the source is playing guitar.
Ah, yes, the guitar player. Different vibe.
Totally different. Their pattern was really variable. They said sometimes a lot, almost daily, especially when I hear a song I want to learn. But then other times they don't play at all for weeks.
Right. That sounds familiar too. The bursts of enthusiasm.
Yeah, this whole idea of playing in phases, it's such a key insight, isn't it? How our interests can ebb and flow. It seems driven more by that spark of inspiration, passion, rather than a fixed schedule like the choir. It really highlights the different rhythms our hobbies can follow, sometimes intense, sometimes quiet. And interestingly, there was also this desire for growth, wanting to start learning piano properly with music reading and training.
Yeah, the aspiration, moving beyond just noodling on the guitar.
Exactly, that element of challenge, learning new skills, pushing yourself. Hobbies offer that too.
Absolutely. It's clear, isn't it, that hobbies aren't one size fits all. Some need that regular structure, others thrive on, like, pure inspiration. But speaking of routine, or maybe the struggle with it, let's shift to the physical side mentioned in your sources. Things like exercising, specifically running, and yoga. And here, that challenge of consistency really came through.
Yes, the running example.
Yeah. One person straight up admitted not running regularly, maybe once a month, so monthly, which isn't very good. And then, I'd like to run more. That feeling is so relatable, I think.
Definitely. That gap between intention and action.
Right. And they explained it perfectly. If I run 2 or 3 times a week, it's easy. But if I stop for a long time.
Yeah.
That feeling that once you lose the routine, it's hard to start again. Oh, it's the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You miss one run, then another. Suddenly it's been weeks.
Yeah.
So what's really going on there? Is it just like weak willpower? Or did the sources suggest something deeper about how habits work?
Well, the sources seem to point less towards just willpower and more towards the power of cues in our environment and the energy it takes to restart something, that friction, starting from a dead stop, overcoming inertia. It's just harder than keeping things rolling. Think about like pushing a car.
Yeah.
Getting it started takes way more effort than keeping it moving, right?
Yeah, good analogy.
So when the routine breaks, all that initial effort barrier comes back. And this is where having the right words, the language of frequency, becomes really helpful. It helps us see where things are breaking down or maybe where our expectations need adjusting. So if we want to get more specific than just sometimes or a lot, what language did the source material give us?
Right, because sometimes could be anything, couldn't it? Once a month, twice a week, we need better words.
Precisely. And the sources gave us some great tools for that. Really precise ways to describe frequency. So for something consistent like the choir, we'd naturally say they go weekly. That means something you do every week. Like, I have my team meeting weekly. Simple. But then you take our runner. Ideally, they want to run regularly. That means often as part of a routine. Maybe like, I regularly have coffee first thing.
Okay, yeah.
But they admit right now it's maybe more like monthly, so something you do every month, or perhaps even just occasionally, which is sometimes, but not often.
Yeah.
It shows that difference between what we want and what's actually happening frequency-wise. So you might pay your rent monthly, but only occasionally go to the theater.
Got it. That makes it much clearer when you tie it back to the examples. It's not just definitions, it's how we use them.
Exactly. And building on that, if you do something quite often, but maybe not on a strict schedule, you could say frequently, like, I frequently check my email. It suggests more often than regularly, perhaps. And for the things we hardly ever do, we use rarely. I rarely eat candy. Then the opposite, the everyday stuff, is daily. Every single day. The source said, I read the news daily. These words just give us a sharper lens, to see and talk about how often we actually do our hobbies. Oh, and of course, they also gave us two handy nouns, choir, which we already discussed, the group of people who sing together, and pastime, which is just a nice, slightly more formal word for a hobby, like reading is my favorite pastime.
Yeah.
Knowing these helps us talk about what we do and how often with a bit more clarity.
That vocabulary is super helpful, yeah. Especially for understanding those sometimes frustrating personal rhythms we all have. But then the sources threw in an example that really stood out to me, something that kind of defies modern life, and that was making sauerkraut.
The sauerkraut, yeah.
What really jumped out was just how, well, unexpected it felt. Now, just quickly, sauerkraut is a type of food made from cabbage, fermented cabbage, essentially. And the process they describe, it's simple but also kind of magical. Slice the cabbage, add salt, crush it, and then wait.
The waiting is key.
Totally. And after some time, it changes into something new and it's very healthy for your stomach. But the why? That's the got me. Why enjoy that? The reason given was because it's relaxing. It takes time. And in today's world, everything happens so fast. Making sauerkraut is slow, old-fashioned, but very satisfying. It felt like such a powerful contrast to, well, everything else, the speed, the instant gratification we usually chase.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating is exactly that countercultural feel of a slow, old-fashioned hobby. In our world of, constant notifications and needing everything now, it really speaks to a deeper need, doesn't it? For mindful engagement, for process, for satisfaction that isn't instant. This hobby tacks into something almost primal, like creating something tangible with your hands, having control in a world that often feels out of control or just screen-based.
Yeah, tangible creation. I like that.
It's a kind of active mindfulness, isn't it? Focusing on that repetitive sensory task. It becomes a mental escape, a break from the digital noise. There's a reward in watching something transform, something you started and then had to wait patiently for. It's not about getting something done quickly. It's about the process, the waiting, the change, and then that final real result. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really hammers home that powerful message from the source. Everyone should find a hobby that makes them feel relaxed and happy.
That simple, powerful idea again.
Yeah. It's not about boosting your resume or being productive in the traditional sense. It's about well-being, holistically. It's about finding your unique way to express yourself, finding deep satisfaction, sometimes in the simplest, most unexpected places. It's a great reminder that maybe the most valuable things we do are the ones that deliberately make us slow down, reconnect us with, more fundamental rhythms. Patience, creation.
It really is like a small rebellion against speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, wrapping this up, what does all this mean for you listening? We've just taken a deep dive into the world of hobbies and free time, the joy, the struggles, the unexpected benefits. We looked at that deep satisfaction and connection from routines like choir singing, compared with the ebb and flow of playing guitar in phases. And we touched on that very common challenge of keeping up with physical routines like running, and hopefully armed you with better words to talk about it. Weekly, monthly, regularly, occasionally, frequently, rarely, daily. And we found that unique, almost subversive satisfaction in a slow, traditional pastime, like making sauerkraut, a reminder of tangible creation and mindfulness.
Which really brings us back to that important question for you. What is that one activity? It could be big, could be small. Structured, totally spontaneous. What truly makes you feel relaxed and happy? We heard the source loud and clear. Everyone should find something. In this world that's always pushing for more speed, instant everything, constant multitasking, what slow or truly satisfying pastime might you be overlooking? Maybe something you used to do. Perhaps the greatest hobby isn't really about what you produce or achieve in the end. Maybe it's about how that activity fundamentally changes your sense of time and your sense of self, how it carves out that vital space for calm, for connection, for just contentment. It's about finding that personal rhythm, whatever it is that helps you thrive, one moment of real engagement at a time.